I'm not like them, I can pretend. The sun is gone, but I have a light. The deed is done, I'm having fun. I think I'm done, maybe just happy. I think I'm done, I think I'm done, I think I'm done, I think I'm done. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to FUNGI Live. So happy to have you here with us. It's 12 p.m. Central, and that means it's time for our show where we go live for a few minutes every Thursday. Really super excited about today's topic because it's all about careers. Because this show is all about helping out you sales, marketing, and communications rock stars that want to grow your careers. And we're speaking of careers, how are you feeling about your career? Are you feeling stuck, stumped, stranded, stymied, stupefied? Okay, that's the perfect caboose. Stupefied, or are you feeling good, generally speaking? How are you feeling about your career? Actually, we want to run a little poll and check in with you guys. Anonymous poll. How are you feeling right now about your career? Are you feeling like you're surviving, kind of like just getting by, or thriving? Where are you at on that? Ashley's putting that poll up. Weigh in, let us know. We're going to check in with the results. But before that, let's check in with ourselves. My name is Matt Cornelison. I am the host of FUNGI Live and the founder of FUNGI Media. And with me as always, we've got the team in the house. We've got Ashley and Demian making it happen, doing their thing in their new digs. They got their new setup over there. And they're liking it, I think, right? I don't know. Well, hey, I got a question. So you want a promotion, do ya? Do ya? Do ya?
I'd like to move us right along to a Peter Gibbons. Now, we had a chance to meet this young man, and boy, that's just a straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
All right, one of my favorite movies of all time. I especially love the scene where they're like playing Damn It Feels Good to Be Gangsta and they're destroying the printer in the montage scene. So epic. Office Space. If you haven't seen it, what's going on? What's your deal? Should we move on to a little chat question? Yeah? Okay, so what does it take to grow your career? We actually want to hear some ideas from you. What are some things that have actually worked along your journey or your path in your career development? What's an example of something that's really helped you, or a tip or an idea? I know for me, one of the biggest things was mentorship. If I didn't have a mentor for about 10 to 15 years, I don't think I would be able to understand how to run a business. So we actually want you guys to put what's worked for you in the chat, in the comments, because we want to actually talk about those, because we want to include you in the conversation. And while we're waiting for those to come in, I'm so excited to introduce our special guest. Her name is Terry McDougall. She's an executive coach, and she is the author of this book, Winning the Game of Work. And it's all about helping you find your career of happiness and success on your own terms. and she's our guest, and we asked her this question: why am I not advancing in my career? Let's see what she had to say.
The reason why I called it winning the game of work is that I got into the workplace. I just thought, well, if I just keep doing the same things that I did at school in the workplace, I'm going to be successful. And what I recognized was that the rules that a lot of people come into the workplace with and that they play by are not the rules that you need to play by to be successful at work. In fact, there's a lot of things that are counterintuitive. Some examples of that are that people think that to get ahead, that you just need to keep your head down and work hard. And that if you do good work, that it's going to be noticed. And the reality is that, when you're reporting to someone, they're busy too. And they may not have any idea really what you're working on. And so a lot of the rules are around getting comfortable with self-advocacy. It's understanding that you're responsible for your own career. I mean, I think that a lot of people have this sort of mindset that it's sort of like in school where like the teacher is the authority, right? And they're going to decide what your grade is. And I think people will come into the workplace sometimes and they'll treat their boss like they're that authority. Another scenario is that somebody's really unhappy with their job, and it's not that their job is a bad fit for them, it's that they have some skill gaps that they need to fill in order for them to be effective in the role. And I see this a lot with people who have been promoted. I actually talk about somebody in the book. She was a frontline manager where she had 8 people. She was sort of a player coach. She had grown up in this department, so she basically knew how to do all of the jobs. And she did such a good job that she got promoted to director of the whole department. And so she went from managing a team of 8 to managing a team of 50. And when she first came to me, she was like, I'm actually considering asking to be demoted back to my old role. I'm working like 70 hours a week. I'm just super frustrated. And what I saw here, and I see this a lot, she had not mentally promoted herself to the next level. So she had all of these resources that she could use, but she wasn't using them. She was trying to manage a department of 50 the same way that she had managed a department of 8.
All right, that was Terry McDougall, author of Winning the Game of Work. And I think that's a really important point is like sometimes we think it's just like keeping our head down and doing the work. That's not enough actually to advance through your career. And I think that was like a big aha moment when I was talking to Terry about that. And the fact that we need to be able to advocate for ourselves. Do want to check in with the comments so far. So what do you guys think? What can we do to grow our careers? What are your ideas? And what do we have so far, Ashley, in the hopper?
Networking is in the chat. Networking as a skill to grow your career. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, networking. I think it's something that maybe you don't learn sometimes until later in your career sometimes. I didn't necessarily always understand how important that was going to be like later on in life, but I wish I would have like had a focus. I think for some people it's something that they are kind of natural at because like people naturally go out and meet people. I was not natural at networking, but it's like a real intentional thing, and now I think if you're doing it intentionally, you're scheduling it for every single day of the week. You're actually scheduling your time to network, and it's an intentional thing. So yeah, networking is definitely something that has popped up. What about you guys? What's worked for you guys?
For me, personally,
I like going to the people that I trust and talking about what they think my skills are to see if I'm not seeing something. Because I think it's easy to get in your head about like, oh, these are my skills, and not register that other people are seeing other things in you.
Yeah, so like getting some input from outside resources and people that you trust, and having that conversation, like what are your skills, what are your strengths, what are things that you need to focus on. I think, I don't know if you guys ever heard of strength finders. Ashley loves the strength finders. But focusing on your strengths, obviously there are weaknesses and things you have to improve and add skills along the way, but focusing on your strengths as a way to really like hone in. And I think what I love about Terry's book is she actually talks about finding your superpower in this, and she gives a couple of really good examples about that. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. Let's go back and check in with Terry, because we also asked her, you know, what do we do about this? So she talked about where are we getting stuck, but what can we do to grow our careers? And here's what Terry had to say.
One thing that I talk about, which is the 5 steps to creating a career that you love. And I always say I work with people who are successful but not satisfied, right? So because they'll work hard to, you know, get the promotion, to get the raise and all of that, but sometimes they wake up and they're like, "God, I'm so stressed, or I'm not very happy." The first rule of creating the career you love is know yourself. What do you like to do? What are you good at? The second rule is know how you add value. Because, you know, if you understand what you can do and you can describe it, you can advocate for yourself, whether it's within your own organization or when you're interviewing outside of your organization. The third thing is know what your options are. So, you know, scan what's going on in the organization, scan what's going on in the marketplace, and find where you might fit. And if there are gaps between where you are and where you'd like to be proactive about filling them. Get training, do some volunteer work, you know, meet people, network. That leads to the fourth rule, which is build your network every day. And then the last tip is to take imperfect action. So often people will sit and look for that perfect path, or they'll get into like analysis paralysis and want to talk to you. Well, guess what? The future is unwritten. Nothing is preordained. We all have to go out there and just, you know, test and learn. Even if you fall on your face, at least you're moving forward.
Awesome. All right, Terry, that was super important stuff. And I think, can we go ahead and can we pull the link up to show her book where they can get the book? So she wrote Winning the Game of Work, and we want to share a link to where you can actually get that if you're really interested in checking it out. So if we put an Amazon link up there, it's like 20 lines long. So it's this tiny URL. But if you go to tinyurl.com/game of work book, you can pick it up on Amazon and check it out. And I already have it. And I got a signed copy. Thanks, Terry. That was awesome. Matt, thank you so much for your support. Terry McDougall. And a smiley face, just like the smiley face right here. But you can learn how to, it's more than just doing the work, right? Getting recognized for your value on your job, developing and appreciating a unique superpower like we talked about. Speaking of the Strength Finders thing, Ashley, who asked, where can I get Strength Finders? That is like you can actually take a test and do this really cool thing, and there's a whole program. But we can link to that in the comments as well. And also, Terry talks about how to cope with a bad boss without burning out or getting fired. So that's stuff that we've all probably dealt with at some point, but definitely check it out. And let's wrap this up with a little food for thought, shall we? Looking back, what really resonated with me is just there's more to it than just the work itself, right? You have to think about sort of the bigger picture in terms of your career, and what are the other people that are involved in making that progress. So I think advocating for yourself is something that's really important, just like Terry said. And then the 5 rules that she shared, and making sure that you're following those things so you're not just thinking about the work, finding opportunities to get recognized, and sort of kind of like shifting your mindset so that you can really take advantage of the opportunities in front of you. So I want to thank Terry for joining us today. And as always, we make this show about your questions and your ideas, and we hope that you will share those ideas in those comments like you have been during the show today on Facebook and anywhere on social media that you can find us. With me as always, Ashley Demian. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will check with you next time and taco about it. We'll see you next Thursday, 12 p.m. Central for Fungi Live. See ya!